welcome everybody to the meeting of the planning committee. Particular welcome to the three members of the public who are present. I know that certainly one of you wishes to speak, possibly two, and then the third person present doesn't wish to speak. So welcome. We welcome your interest in our business. Right, so the open session of planning. So I'm going to ask Ken to talk about the issue that's affecting him and his wife. And it's not. We've heard from Ken. We've heard from Ken before, so a member of the committee may remember. Over to you then. Thank you.
Am I allowed to pass?
Yes. Thank you.
Thank you. I mean, as has been said, I did speak earlier, and the Paris did reject these proposals unanimously. To all intents and purposes, they're exactly the same. It's a single-story handle. It will have a sloping roof. It's equally encroaching. It's equally overbearing. But the applicant has applied for permitted development, I think it's called. I'm not familiar with, and I'm not allowed to comment on the Kirklees Pine site. Although the three neighbours who share the drive, I do know have written to the planning stone, as have one or two other people in the street, to object to this, even though officially I suppose we're not allowed to comment. The footprint of the extension is very little change, and the access problems for all three houses on the shared drive are going to be exactly the same as on the plans which were rejected earlier in the year. The builder already had this plan B, I think it was in February when these plans were drawn up, so he was prepared for the first plans to be rejected and had this plan already in trade. Because it's less than 50% of the size of the existing house, apparently it can come within permitted development. But one of the big, well, apart from the factors that, as I spoke before about the state of Greenwell's Close, it's extremely steep, it's extremely narrow. It narrows even more on the corner where this house is. There are vans and cars littered everywhere. There's very little parking. This house is a 3-bedroom semi with currently 3 parking spaces, 2 down the drive where this extension's going, and 1 on what was a front garden. When the extension's there, it will be a 4-bedroom house with only 1 parking space on what was the front garden. The builder's claiming 2 parking spaces if you look on the plan. One of them at the end of the drive is on the shared access and is shaded yellow on everybody's plans. It is not to be parked at. I can't believe the planners would pass a 4-bedroom house with 1 parking space in a street with such limited parking as this one. The other one is that if the extension extends to the middle of the shared drive, then he has no access now to his rear garden other than along my neighbour's drive and my drive to the left of the extension. I can't believe it can be permitted development to allow someone to use their neighbour's drive to access their garden hill. He loses the drive to this was happening by accident because my immediate neighbour works in a solicitor's and it cost her desk. He's told no one in the street that he's put this application in at all. So, however many objections there are, some people just won't know this has been put in at all. Mo Crook is aware of this and I think has been in touch with the planning board and hopefully he has raised some of the concerns of myself and my neighbour. I realise you can't discuss it and you're probably not allowed to comment either, as I'm not allowed to comment. But that's where I am. I'm feeling to anyone who I think can support me in stopping this happening. It would make it very difficult for me to access my drive to get to my garage. He's intending on knocking his garage down, which I'm worried about what will happen to my garage, which is linked to it. So he will have no garage at all in what will be a four-bedroom house, and he'll have one parking space, legitimate parking space, although he's claiming two. I'm sorry.
Thank you.
That's where I am.
No, thank you. I think you're aware that your input's limited to 3 minutes, and I know that Andy's already explained to you that because this item is not on the agenda, it's not in the list of planning application we're looking at, we will not be able to discuss it tonight. But what we could offer is that it goes onto the agenda of the next meeting, which is on the 15th of July, if fellow councillors are happy with that suggestion. Yeah, rather than that's so I do apologise for that. Yeah. But I think the fact you've spoken to one of the Kirklees councillors is really positive.
Thank you.
Yeah. So thank you very much for coming. I think you were aware
Yes.
you were aware of the limitations. I think before you came, I think Andy filmed you in. So thank you.
Thank you for your time. Thank you for listening.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
You wanted to stay?
I'm sure that they're really sneaking
I think we might have better things to do.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Right, so we move on to the second item, which is the possibility of recording. Does anybody wish to make a recording of this meeting in addition to the one that's already been made? No, complete lack of response, so I guess the answer is no, you don't. Right. So, apologies for absence. We've had an email from the assistant clerk today with the reasons for absence for a councillor's Barnet and Fenwick. Are we happy to accept those reasons? Yeah, thank you. In favour? Thank you. Right. And moving on, members and officers personal and disclosable pecuniary interests in items on the agenda. Does anybody have anything to declare? Right, thank you.
Application 2425-0311. I'm a shareholder in the tech, so I can't partake.
Anyone else? Anything?
Well, I guess we all have to declare for the item on the civic, don't we?
Yes, we will when we're not going to. Yes, thank you. Thank you, Karen. We're not going to discuss that. Item 45. Written requests for new DPR dispensations.
Nothing received this time.
Nothing this time. Thank you. Right. At 46. Does any of the any agenda need to be heard in private session? No. Thank you. Okay. Right. So moving on to item 47, which has come before the committee previously, really, and it was in connection with a planning application which we supported. And if you've looked, I'm sure you've looked at the, it's a tiny, tiny piece of land which had been designated as highway and is going to be suggesting that it's stopped up and becomes part of the domestic curtilage. So, do we wish to respond to the consultation in any way? We're not going to raise it. No, don't wish to raise an objection to this. No.
Certainly not
So,
an objection, I don't.
No.
Don't know whether we have
No
to do anything
response.
with it, do we? Do we sort of,
I think we'd only
Approve
respond if
or-
it's
if
an
it's
objection.
no.
Yeah.
We've got, by the way, to the 5th of July to make some responses on this one,
Yes, we
on
have.
objections.
Yeah.
I'd like to, I'll go and have a look and see what it's all about. It's a bit confusing, really.
Well, we've already
we've already
supported
seen
it
it.
when
We've
they
already
originally put the plan in, we supported it, so.
It's like a
Yeah.
lay-by that the road, I think, was intended to carry on originally. It's now a dead end.
Right,
He owns the land, and he's now had planning permission to put it back to a garden.
have we heard anything from the residents of that area?
No. No. No, it's a very small. It's a very small piece of land. It's like a piece of business that's been left over and kind of regularised.
Sometimes, you know, small pieces of land can cause big trouble,
Indeed,
as I've found over the years.
yeah. And I think in this case, I don't think there's been no objections from the residents of which we're aware. So I think the only response we would make would be an objection. I think we don't wish to object to this.
Well, we didn't object to the application.
We didn't object to it before, did we, when we agreed to the planning application? Okay, so we're not lodging objection. Right, moving on to the minutes of the previous meeting. We need to approve the minutes and then look at any matters arising. Okay,
Propose that we accept the minutes.
thank you. Someone second that, thank you. All those in favour, accept the minutes, thank you.
I have matters arising,
Yes,
but
me
it
too.
is included in the final item on the agenda. So, what I wanted to kind of mention here, because I think it's probably a bit confusing. So we've had notification of a public inquiry with respect to footpath 60 at Wolston. This is not
Right.
the one we objected to the last two times. This is a different case.
Yeah.
And it's to do with the width of the footpath and not the diversion. I have dug out some information from last time, but I will speak about that when we get to that item.
Did we comment on it?
No.
No, we didn't. No, last time, no, we didn't. Yeah, I've got some items too then. So, item 27 was about the allocation of wards to councillors. And there were some councillors who were not present at that last meeting. So those councillors were Damien and Councillor Fenwick and Donald. Okay. So we don't, wish to dragoon anybody into taking on an area that they don't particularly want to. I just wondered whether either Damien or Donald wish to look after another
So
ward.
you look after another one.
Another ward. Yeah, do you have a preference?
What's not taken?
They're all taken out.
They're all, they're all taken, but some people have got a large number of wards.
You just want to assign one which is going to help.
Yeah,
for
you've got an awful lot, haven't you, Pat?
I'm right, isn't it? I mean,
Are you okay with it?
yeah.
What about you, Pat? Are you?
I can manage mine, but I mean, if I find I can't, if suddenly,
I'm
I've
going
found some
to
things.
be on standby if someone
Excellent.
requires it, then just to
Yeah.
say, could you look
Yeah.
at these ones,
Yeah.
just and
Yeah.
now take
yeah, that would be useful.
So
if
perhaps
we
when
could-
I send out the list of ones that we really need to look at, if you make sure that if you can.
generally look at them anyway. Or
I'm sure you do, yeah. Donald, are you want to take on any other wards or,
Well,
You-
one of
you
the
don't-
things,
you don't
big
force
one,
it,
if
but
anybody
it's-
comes and
Yeah.
asks me, then I'll by all means go and have a look and pass it on,
Yeah.
because I always have done. It's for a big wall right around Cartledge Council, it doesn't affect me all that much, you know.
Yeah, so Folkestone is you're down for Folkestone obviously with
So, yeah.
Okay, let's, that was the, item 27. Item 39 was, to do with a response to the Saddleworth, neighbourhood development plan, or do you think they just call it Saddleworth development plan? Pat and I did produce something, not very lengthy, just one page. It was mostly saying how good that plan was really, so that went off the deadline for commenting. But there was one thing at the end which you suggested, because the situation of Saddleworth is in many ways quite comparable to the whole valley really, because there's a tourist element, there's a large amount of it is moorland, part of it's in the national park. That it might be quite useful for us sometimes to have a dialogue and see how they work, see if they've got some good best practice we might be able to share.
It'd be nice if they take us back.
So that was item 39, and then there was item 40, which is which I'm a bit like Gemma. I think it's probably better to take that under item 58 on this agenda, which is the budget. Okay. Has anybody else got any matters they wish to raise from the last meeting? Okay. So completed Kirklees planning applications list. Can we note the list of the last?
Noted.
All noted. Right. So we're on to the new applications. And never known so few.
It's good, innit? It must be given away in 9 months.
None in your area.
None except the one we can't comment on. I had a very lucky month this month.
You did. They've gone to sleep in Honley, I think. So.
I'm told that applications are low across Kirklees.
Really?
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Interesting. It will have, yeah.
No, it's not to do with that, no, it's building out.
It's
Across the water.
apparently a lot of the bigger ones are absent.
Okay, let's start with number 1, which is Foster Rise, Wooldale. Anybody? Steve, wish to comment on this one?
I don't see a problem with that, although I was out this morning and a neighbour from across the road did come and complain to me about works that have been going on at number 6. And she's not a happy lady.
She knows what planning department is.
At number 6, not number 5.
No. Yeah, I've not got a problem with number 6. It's
What's happening at
not-
number 4?
It's number 5.
sorry, number 4. Number 6 is an extension that's been built.
Oh, right.
They completed the works with the grass surrounding the sort of semi-pavement, semi-private is in total disarray, and the car parking spaces that are meant to be provided. So I told her I'd contact Kirklees to see what we can do to pursue the matter on her behalf.
Thank you.
I've just written unremarkable.
Okay, I've just put support. Anybody feel anything else? Okay, so support. That's fine. Thank you. Number 2 is the conservation area. So ask people to have a look at it if they've got time. Which is demolition of a shed and erection of a detached garage on Totties Lane. Anybody wish to comment?
I'll start with that.
Yeah, go on.
Materials I thought were okay that have been installed, except for the mentioned synthetic roof tiles.
They won't last long. We'll go away.
Yeah.
Don't worry about it.
You won't be able to tell to look at.
Let's not.
I just thought they should be using Yorkshire
I
style.
thought it looked as
I
though
thought
it
it
would look
improved.
a lot better when
Yes.
it was done than it does at the moment.
Yes, I agree.
Okay. Anybody else comment? Steve?
The removal of the tumble or ready to tumble down
Yeah.
building.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
think it's a,
We're
I think
approving
so.
it.
So can we spot
Yeah.
that? We haven't spot that.
Yeah.
Unanimity there. Right, number 3 is the on the library, so that's the one in which we've all got to declare an interest, so we cannot comment on it at all. Number 4, Rock Cottages at New Mill, which is in the green belt. Right.
Erection of a rear extension with a raised bridge to the upper garden level with
Did you
engineering.
have a chance to look at this?
I'm just having a quick look at it now,
Mm.
and it sounds quite complicated. When I looked at the plans, I couldn't actually see that much difference between them. So, but I was just looking on my phone just now because I hadn't a chance to look this weekend. The location where they are, they're on the main road, aren't they? So it's just around the back of there, so it shouldn't be too much of a visual impact or anything, but I'm not sure what they'll actually do. Have you looked on all?
Whereabouts are we talking
Rock
now?
cottages.
On by rock cottages.
Oh, no,
That's
cottages.
the
Rock
Donald
Cottages.
there.
All right.
Oh, I know who owns that, right, yeah. Didn't
I,
sound
I
like
just,
it.
I just thought it was.
It's not very really nice, is it? I
There's
wouldn't have
no
thought.
back in it, can't really
It's
see
not,
it.
It's not very noticed, is it?
No, no.
no.
I'd approve.
Is there other houses adjoining them though, which may be impacted by it? That's what the only thing I can think of.
It's the middle one, isn't it?
And where the response from our planning officer, please, on it?
You don't tell us, Donald.
We don't know till later, do we? I thought it was as everybody's saying, I think it's at the back, so it won't really be
You can't
seen
see
by
it from
anybody.
the
I
top
don't
of the house,
think
so
it's,
it's not like.
It's, you can see the
Yeah.
property itself on there.
raised.
So
Yeah.
it's literally, it's in the row of terraces there.
Yeah,
It looks obviously standing up a little bit further back from the others there, but it's not going to cause any, I can't see cause any problem, it's certainly not going to impact on price.
Could
I
it,
thought it was quite.
could they do lots of light to the neighbour's gardens?
No, it's full of
No.
trees there.
No,
The only other thing I thought was the parking, but there's no parking.
there's no parking anyway.
They're moving into a three
Put in
bedroom.
another bedroom, something.
Yeah, but they'll park at back and park.
No, bring it down, bring it down.
We all seem to be agreeing on it.
No,
I think we are.
Should
Should we-
Yeah, move
Can we
on.
just move on? Can we just say support that, support
Yeah.
that one?
That's where,
Okay, so the next one is
Well,
falling,
Marcus
is
would-
an air source heat pump, at Fallingwood Close, New Mill. Right. Anybody have a look? A neighbour has expressed quite a lot of concern about the noise of the pump. Although it is seated away in a kind of corner, it is.
We were chatting about this earlier,
Yeah.
and it seems to be a bit of a technicality, doesn't it? That the installer has to do a noise assessment, and if their assessment says it's more than 47 dB, then
this is a ground source heat pump, is it?
No, an air
Air
source.
source.
Air source.
then they have to put in for planning permission, which in turn means that they have to do a noise survey, which costs them,
150 quid.
no, about 1,500.
It looks like it's in the best position where you put something like that from where it is, to be away from the neighbours and not be encroaching on them. I think we should refer it to the Kirklees officers, we can't do sound surveys ourselves on those and what they can, can we?
Are we happy with that suggestion?
I'd like to support it in principle, they're trying to do
Yes,
something,
yeah.
aren't they? for the-
Could we
For the
say
environment.
we support it, but in terms of the noise issue, we
Mm.
need to
Yeah.
refer that to the Kirklees.
There was a response from Kirklees
councillors.
Council which said that obviously that they must submit a noise impact assessment
Yeah.
for that there, so I think that process is already ongoing, so
Yeah.
if they manage to comply to that, I would imagine Kirklees will also support it.
So am I supporting principle
It's
subject
supporting
to
principle,
noise?
subject to resolution of the noise issue, I think.
So I would just say for us, we support it in principle subject to the noise.
Gosh, we're all in accord today, which is good. Right, number 6. This is a strange one. So this is at the back of what used to be the Hollers. Change of use, tiny little blaze. Anybody, I've got definite views about this. Anybody else? It is first actual, yes, Steve.
I mean, to me, it's nice to see a vacant property being brought back into use.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
The environmental health report leads with a lot of unanswered questions. And I think I would refer this back to Kirklees.
You make a right kebab shop, that.
Sorry, did anybody actually find out what hot food they actually sell? Is it like a nighttime specific one, or is it?
Well, no, this is what's missing in the
Yeah,
application.
Was it something like
I looked at the kitchenware to try and figure out what they've got there, and it could be fairly generic. But I was thinking if potentially if it's just another one for the nighttime revellers, then it might not be a good idea. But something for more
If it's a day,
for a general support in the general infrastructure in the daytime, then might look at it more favourable.
I
But
think the environmental health sort of.
I think they've got their eyes on it. I mean, there were a lot of issues raised.
No
Does
hours
any-
stated, no
waste
no
and
extraction, no hand washing.
Does anybody apart from me wish to oppose this?
I think-
Insufficient information.
I hope so.
Yeah, I'll
Yeah.
oppose on the grounds of
Oppose
not
the grounds of
knowing
not
enough,
insufficient information, which, you know, is raised by the.
I'm
Okay,
not
we
what
happy with
food
that
they're
then?
serving.
Sorry?
On the ground, I don't know what food they're serving.
They're serving them
If I
gyro
like
things
it,
out.
Oh, whether I like it,
Do
yeah.
you know what I mean? I don't think
If they're thinking of doing some
kebab.
nice Middle Eastern stuff, I'll be very happy.
Yeah. Do you know what I mean? I was up in the Indian house the other day with Jenny. Can tell you.
They're only going to throw it out of a little window, you know.
Yeah, it's just a hatch. Right,
It
let's
was a
move.
very good cobbler's that, you know, it's a wash.
It was absolutely, yeah.
Kept my shoes
Absolutely
going.
in there. Right, okay, let's move on to number 7, which is 116 Underbank Road, which is a Home First Central one. It's a replacement of the, I was around there, had a look at it. It's not a listed building, it's a top floor flat. Going to replace the existing wood windows by UPVC, which I pretty much regret replacement by UPVC, but I don't think it will be seen at all from them. And it's the same pattern as the existing window.
And
so I just think
UPVC
we've got
is a
to
lot
start
better
there.
than it used to be. I
Yeah.
mean,
Yeah.
it doesn't
Right.
The ground floor flat has UPVC.
UPVC.
Oh, well, there's some already converted to be
Yeah.
there.
Oh, this is the top one,
This
isn't
is
it?
the top.
This is the top,
Yeah.
which makes it even more
Yeah.
invisible.
Yeah.
Do we even
Shall we
look up?
support?
Yeah.
Support
Support,
this one
yeah.
then? Yeah. Thank you. Okay. The next one, Stony Bank Lane, Thorns Bridge, single story extension to the rear.
I've had a quick look at that one. There's a balcony, isn't there, as well, so it's single story at the back, and it's quite small. I do have concerns about the balcony and overlooking, so they're the only concerns I would have, so I'd say approve subject to overlooking.
I don't think they'll pass that because they're overlooking. You know, because you can get on the end of the balcony and look back into someone else's dwelling. They won't allow that.
Well, I don't know. It depends how if it is overlooking, because they might have like a walk side, or it might be overlooking into the gardens.
Like
So
frosted glass in the sides or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There are ways around it from the side.
So,
yeah, it's the last one there, but it might be overlooking at the one next to it, the garden. So that's my concern.
So we'd say support provided the.
Subject to overlooking.
Subject to overlook, yeah. Okay, I'm happy with that?
Yeah.
Subject, no overlooking. Probably. Number 9,
Removal of render.
removal of render, oh, this is another.
It's just the colour, isn't it?
It's just the colour.
It's clean now and the condition says green or brown.
Green or dark brown, it's, you know.
Really?
That's what I'm sure, I just, it's one of these, remember this one, it's a retrospective application, it's a really, how shall I say, interesting, kind of new set of levels, with one of them's got a rope thing across it. My feeling is that the planners say that a darker colour would have less impact and less local impact, but I'm going to suggest that we defer to Kirby. Have anybody got any?
I personally would say,
Anything?
I'm
Just
fine with
leave
it,
it.
but
Yeah, because
I'm
realistic, there's full of randomness in it. You know,
Well,
about it.
it may be, but I suppose part of our job to it is.
I know it's already there, isn't it?
Yeah, but
And it's part of
Part
real
of it,
life.
part of real
Yeah,
life,
it's the
that's
difference
okay,
between
yeah.
London and
Yeah.
say Paris, you know,
Patchwork
randomness is
quilt.
part of the charm.
Okay, so are we moving
Moving to
towards,
approve.
are we moving towards saying we support the removal
Yeah.
of condition then?
Yeah.
Are people happy with that?
I'm happy with that.
Okay. Backing totties. Greenbelt conservation area, not a listed building.
I find no reason why this shouldn't be approved.
Can I present a different argument?
It's not a flat roof though, Andy.
No, I'm not saying I
Wrong with
wouldn't, I wouldn't move to approve, but I just thought, well, firstly, I thought the materials matched the existing, so there's no issues in that respect. I thought the heritage statement was useless. The climate change statement was equally useless. The plans I thought were poor and lack any real detail. And one of my favourite, parking, it's now going to a 4-bed, I'm not sure whether there's sufficient parking.
Well,
I'm not saying I would, I'm saying
they've got two big garages, but neither appear to be used.
yeah.
Nobody in this area, you put cars in their garages. I don't know what my next door neighbours make wine in their
But
garage.
I don't think the doors.
Do
they?
There's grass.
Well, I just don't care anyway.
Yeah. Actually, Damien just started.
But I'm gonna kick it out now and start making wine. Sorry, that's a better idea altogether.
There was a man in Epworth who made beer in his park and then he left because it was really successful.
Okay, let's try and come to a conclusion on this one.
Personally, I'd like to see more information. I thought it was worth it.
We could make that as a comment, can't we?
Essentially, if we're going to identify a statement to mitigate the parking, because I know very well how bad it is on the parking, so in that information with mitigation.
It's the end, it's the end house, isn't it? It just, so,
It is, it's just
are
so
we,
narrow.
are we saying,
It is
are we
narrow.
saying support, but raise issues
Yeah.
about parking and comment on the, full
Must
policy
try harder.
application?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who's the applicant? Who's
Is
the
that
applicant?
If you look at the heritage statement, I think it's only a paragraph.
I think heritage statements tend to be, generally speaking, not really that adequate in a lot of applications. I think it's an afterthought for a lot of agents.
So it's probably worth making that comment.
Well, the box ticking exercise, it's something we have to do, like, it's come something together at the end.
Yeah, like the climate change statement.
No one bothers reading it.
So support with
And it is.
concerns.
Right,
for-
with concerns about the parking.
They're probably
comments
great
on
for
the,
Andy's not
you know,
the planning
yeah.
office.
What is he doing there? What are they doing?
I'll shut the door.
Oh, she will discuss, I'll shut the door while
Yeah, but
while
I
you discuss this.
I think that'd be noisy as well.
So, we've been concerned for inadequacy of plans.
For yoga, you
and
are.
parking.
Never been to a yoga class. Not missing that.
I would agree with you. Okay, let's move on to the tech. So Steve has left the room.
I think this is a refer to officers, it's technical
I
and
think
legal
it's-
and beyond our knowledge and skills.
Yeah,
That would be my comment.
Tried reading it, and it was-
Okay, defer to.
It's hard going.
Like land registry
It's
document,
really
wasn't it?
like a hard going, isn't it? It's not.
You know what to do is you
Defer
don't
to,
learn it.
no, okay, that's, defer to Kirtley's
Well,
planning officers.
I'll just tell Steve he can come back in then.
I was going to leave him out there a bit longer.
We could leave him out there for ages.
Just mind you don't knock him over, he's got his ear to the door.
The opens out.
Take a glass of it.
Steve, we're done.
This is in my wall.
It is in your
And some comments from councillor Payne.
Oh, right, thank you. Would you wait for Steve? We'll go with.
Go on, then you go.
Shall we leave it closed?
He says
Yeah,
that
we
we've
might
got
close
no
it.
objections,
Close
but
it.
understand that the design has
Okay.
considerably changed in response to a previous Kirklees refusal. So it's not something concludable.
So, where this is at edge, I looked last time, I haven't been, I've re-looked at the plans, but I haven't been back to site, because I know where it is, because it was looking at it. They are they own both houses. The parking is adequate around the building. The garage is an absolute eyesore with next to all those other new houses. Quite, you know, an affluent village Adedge, but it's got quite an eclectic residence route. And I just think the garage is just a bit horrible and needs to come down, and to integrate it into a little dwelling. It's not going to be an Airbnb, it's going to be for their family, because they've got kids at uni, come back to uni and work for the business. I just think it's an awful, you know, and they've also bought land further up Jones Homes to extend houses into further up Dunford Road, so it's going to be even worse. So I just think we should just approve it.
We did, when it came before, we approved and we congratulated them on the SLC.
Absolutely.
And they are actually quite like a greeny family.
I think as somebody, I think it's Lauren said, that I think they have reacted to the comments and,
Well,
the
the
reasons for the
previous-
turning down.
Refusal was based on the harm and appearance to the area
Yeah.
Honestly, you ever.
and living conditions for the occupant.
Well, I think,
After Jones Homes and after child poverty.
yes, Steve, sorry.
I would support this with one condition.
Okay.
That there's a condition excluding short-term lets or holiday letting.
I think we said that last time.
Yeah, it's not, it won't be that, so it won't matter.
You can't say what's going to happen in the future.
It's not that family, they're all in the same village.
That's the point, isn't it?
You can't pass on the grounds of what the family's like, you've got to pass on the principle.
Oh,
Well, I
yeah.
think they have reacted a lot because they've turned the whole thing round, I think, by 90 degrees, so that what the facade now looking onto Dunford Road is pretty much like the surrounding buildings. So I think, are we going to go with support?
Yeah.
I think an Airbnb would be preferable to a
Can we say-
dilapidated shed.
Yeah.
Well done, Pat.
Can we
Come to this
congratulate,
side.
can we congratulate them again on the environment, the ECOS?
Yeah.
It's also,
The
it's
CCS were really good. Yeah.
and the solar panels, and maybe express a concern. Do we wish to express a concern that it doesn't turn into a short-term let's?
Well, we don't have the right to do that.
And also, I think it's
We have
just.
the right to do it, but
The
nobody.
police does.
No, but we can say
I
that.
know, but
And we're supposed to be supporting tourism and business, it's in the neighbourhood plan.
right then, we'll just move to approve then.
Let's just
It's
approve
not bad, would be
it.
refused
Yeah,
for
I
that
think
basis.
last time we did make that comment.
But I think we need probably more holiday lets.
I agree, Pat.
We probably
But we also
do, yeah.
need one-bedroom houses for local
Yeah.
people.
Yeah.
It will look great at picture drawing on a Saturday night, going home.
And it's good to have a small building being built rather than a 5-6 bedroom mansion, so. Right, well, that was through those in record time. Let's move on, item.
Yeah,
Right,
that's
Item 51, to note the list of decision notices given by Kirklees Council. Can we note that, please? There were a few discrepancies with what we decided, and I tried to have a look at them, and I found it difficult to. When you read their explanation, it's obviously clear, but. Right, let's move on to item 52, first of all, the purchase and placement of an additional SID for the Home Valley. So there's a fair bit of narrative at the top of page 3 there. So the SID's active and still not being invoiced.
SID 1 Act is not invoiced, SID 2
Okay.
or on order, still not been
And
invoiced.
is there any move on the second SID?
No news,
No.
no.
So we don't know it's actually no.
No, nothing has been confirmed as yet. I can follow up again.
Chair,
Yes.
just an observation. So our SID is on the main road coming up out of New Mill, just I'm a junction boy where I live. Coming here to the council meeting tonight, I noticed that the street that the Kirklees councillors have is across the road, that Sycamore Wreck, above where the high school is. So for the whole of Home Valley, south, we've got two SIDs within about half a mile of each other on the main road.
It's been like that for ages.
And that one by the high school hasn't been there for that long. I haven't noticed it. So it's kind of like, we kind of need to kind of coordinate things and look to get better with the Kirklees and where they're
They're
positioning
not
them as
quite
well.
in different directions.
No, they're both the same side of the road. They're both
They're
less
both on
than,
the same side.
yeah, they're both going up the hill towards
So they're only a few yards apart.
yeah.
It's just to reaffirm that you're not speeding.
Yeah.
Just that you're really
Are you still there?
You can't make it up, can you?
They're both good valid locations to have it. And it's just, we need to kind of coordinate a bit better, but that's just an observation. But like the one that we've got, I was walking up there yesterday back from the North New Mill, and it flashed up that somebody was going about 45 there on that road, so it's, well no, but people are still
It's
going
not
fast,
working.
but like it's,
Yeah.
we're going to have some interesting data from it when it comes back and that, and like I could even speak to some of the locals who live there and see what they think if it's noticed it's being any slower. But probably when you do move it, people will start ignoring it again. But it's just, I think, yeah, we need to kind of coordinate it better.
I mean, unfortunately, we can't coordinate it.
It's because
It's Kirklees
we just
council.
own it,
Yeah.
they do the,
So, I mean, yes, I think it'd be good to flag it up to the Kirklees
Yeah.
councillors and say, come on, get your act together and
We need to work
My
together.
hair's raising at that comment. What about wasting your time?
We need to kind of like work together on it. Like this is the first time we've got one and done it, so you're gonna have teething problems and things like this where it's not completely brilliant. But yeah, we'll get there with it.
Okay, so we move on to
Yeah.
traffic calming and assistant clerk to report.
The bollards are on order for Brock Hostel. Last time I think it took about 6 weeks, so we're 4 weeks on from 5 weeks on. From when they were done. I've not had a dispatch note from the company yet, but they should be. I would imagine before the end of term with them.
What next year?
Yeah, it took about 6 weeks last time. Councillor Wilson had some correspondence with us about overnight storage, I think, did you?
Yeah.
Sorry,
Sorry, I missed the last one.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
I had a chat with the head of the on and she recognised that there was an issue with putting them away. And she said, we can't put them away in a shed every day, but we can certainly put them on school premises out of the way. So she said they'll do that, and she will give us some more feedback in due course. But the initial feedback is that, yeah, they thought it was beneficial.
That's good. That's good to hear.
Could there not be a suggestion that there's a chain placed around them just in case someone wants to play games with them, shall we say?
I don't
If
think.
they're on the property, then it's fair enough, and even if you have to provide a chain for them and a padlock, you know, with a
I think the issue was that they were getting left out.
no, yeah,
So people were pinching them and putting them on their own premises.
as you do.
So are we good to, are they still going to report on any further? Yeah, that would be.
I'll try and at our next meeting, I'll try and make it.
Thank you. Okay, so Peak District National Park Authority seem very, well, they seem very quiet at the moment. I think it's third meeting that we've not had anything. So I guess we are not considering any, there's been no action, we're not considering any further action.
Not unless we can invent
Unless we can
something.
invent something. Right. And item 54, the ongoing highways campaigns, and you know what they are. So, is there anything, does anybody, I don't have any, does anybody have any update on any of the 5?
Councillor Green did send you a update from the public rights of way meeting
Yeah,
that he went to.
Yeah, that's fine, did anybody have anything on there?
Councillor Wilson did copy me on some correspondence with
Yeah,
Will Acorn as well, which I've got if you want.
Ramsden Road,
Okay.
yeah. Will Acorn, they used to, whose position is it? One of officers anyway. He's emailed me to say he considers the consultation is now complete, having previously said that he would be, someone would be consulting with the parish council.
Did you find that out?
Yes, so I've gone back to him and said, it's not complete, you haven't consulted with the parish council, nor have you consulted with the local. One of whom is going to be trapped inside some gates.
What did he say to that?
He's not responded.
There's
I
a
emailed him on the
surprise. Are you
24th,
shocked, Pat? I'm shocked. Are you shocked?
24th of May, I said, look, you're not complete, and I've not had any feedback.
Have you copied his line manager?
I've copied everybody in it, but nothing to make any difference. He does, he sort of emails in fits and bursts, Joe.
Alright.
You get
Yeah,
two or three quick, you know, and then you don't hear anything for weeks and weeks.
Oh, whatever, it's not fine. Not calling you.
Yes.
The fear is with this, that because they're not doing the consultation properly, and this is why they failed with this TRO the last twice, then they're going to fail again. Someone will call them out and say, you've not done the proper consultation, and they will fail.
Have you thought about contacting, and this is quite laughable, Kirklees legal team?
I haven't done.
Ah, maybe you should take insight from my text earlier.
Okay.
Has anybody got any updates on any of the others?
Well, Countless Moor Road is up on Thursday, but it's part of the planning for
Yeah,
Kirklees.
everybody must have seen that. Did you see that? Have you seen that, Mary?
So the application for extending the quarry, putting a new road in, blah, 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 is up at Kirklees on Thursday, with a recommendation from officers that they support it. So make of that what you will.
Okay.
Next then.
Okay, let's move on. So Councillor Green attended the Kirklees Public Rights of Way meeting. I'll just quickly summarise what is, and he sent an email to me. So, and there is, yeah, I think that there is progress. So first of all, surprisingly, Woodnook Conley, a path there has been upgraded onto definitive maps. So that's always positive. I think that's always positive when a footpath becomes part of the definitive map. And then there's the footpath at Waspit Mills, which I assume is the one which will, go through the complex, the new complex, is under consultation again regarding a definitive map modification. So again, that's a good thing. And then there's two in Scholes. There's the one at the cricket club, which I think came before us into the map. I've got right down the side of it. And then the other one is the one across the chipping site. And yeah, so fair enough. So they're being looked at for modification. Again, that's good. I think that's not the right date. Maintenance work on footpaths, including one at Holmfirth and one at Waldale. I think the Holmfirth one is probably the one at Sands, going around the edge of Sands, because I was on it today, and they put down a lot of that.
Yeah, it's a lot better that one now.
Yeah.
It's good because
Yeah.
it gets right muddy there in the winter, so it's a lot better surface now.
I forgot what you call it, so that kind of
Crushed stone, isn't it?
like crushed stone thing. Yeah, so yeah, it looked a lot better, I thought, considering how much rain had been, when I looked at it this morning. And one at Waldale, and I'm not quite sure where that, does anybody know where that one is, the one at Waldale? Do you have any idea? No? No.
Possibly could be the one that runs across Boyne from the Woolley Arms and goes out the back up that way there and across the top towards Cliff. And there's one that goes through there.
I wonder if it's the one.
The one by the
Is it the
football
one
pitch.
by?
There's one that cuts across the field there as well, isn't there?
Yeah.
That style across to the track.
Anyways, so that's, yeah, so again, and then this anybody wants to cover this, the action plan in place to the Robinson Road. There's an action plan in place, and this is with awaiting completion of application with traffic regulation orders. So I guess we've already dealt with that. So I mean, it's useful that, it's useful that Chris Green attended. I mean, he was a member of the planning committee until he decided not to rejoin. I just wonder if somebody else would be interested in going to the meetings.
I was going to ask if you could ask Chris to provide us some walking discs, you know, some arrow discs for the footpaths, because I asked Kirklees during COVID for some discs. They came out, walked a path, got lost, and then never brought the discs. She did come off the path.
to find her way back
She
to
did come
the
back halfway. I made sure that she didn't miss into the abyss. Right? She didn't go into the fog and never return. She just never brought any bloody discs back. I'm quite happy to nail them on myself, but you know when your land is on a footpath and
Yeah.
people aimlessly wander because they're genuinely lost.
Yeah, you don't want to.
No.
And so it's not me that's bothered, but my next door neighbour Mary, she has them wandering up in her garden and stuff, and it's not, you feel a bit tight then.
Take Burnley off the list.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It's all-
Yeah, the arrow, directional arrow discs. All we want is them to send us some. I'm happy to install them myself.
Can we go back to the issue of perhaps somebody from this committee attending the Kirklees
I
Public
think you
Action
should go
Week?
and do.
Public.
Well, I used to go,
You
but
used to go, yeah.
well, they
Did you
didn't,
not
they didn't
find
hold
it
one for
useful?
over a year.
Yeah.
And then when they did arrange it, I couldn't make it, Chris went in my place. I didn't know whether Chris was going to do that
I'm not
permanently.
sure why. I don't know how he ended up
That's good.
attending that one. Would
I
you
think
be
it's good
interested in
information.
going? You should, yeah.
I'll go if no one else wants to, but
Ooh, you cycle and all, don't you?
If Chris wants to do it, you can always report back to us, it's alright.
Yeah.
If he wants to carry on doing it, it's fine.
Can I speak? You put me in action to speak to Chris.
it was in my head if
Yeah.
he was going to continue.
Right,
I might be wrong.
okay.
That was my impression, yeah.
Right.
And I'm trying to get out of it. No,
Okay, fair enough. Well, if you produce a fairly comprehensive report like that, then I think that's fine. Okay, let's move on then to planning policy and guidance. The issue we've talked about for quite a long time, which is about having information from pre-application advice meetings. We've had a lengthy response from Matthews Franklin, so at least it's, the courtesy of giving us an extensive response and an explanation about two issues. Are we asking that we just first of all, and then the second response was about heritage. Can we note them? We're asked to note them. Can we note this correspondence, please? And then consider whether we want any further action.
Can I speak on the first one?
You mean yes?
Be careful.
Well, first thing is, it's the sort of thing I expected. Unfortunately, it's taken 6 months to get that response, which I think is not very good. When you look at the advice that's out there, Department for Levelling Up suggests that statutory consultees, which we are, should be involved in pre-applications. And I know that some of the local authorities do publish these. It's on the web, Kensington and Chelsea make a point of being routinely publishing to boost transparency. And again, local government associations say accepting clearly justified exceptional cases that should be made public as soon as possible. So, I'd ask the question, why aren't Kirklees being open and transparent with
I
us?
could give you some answers, you might not like them.
It's not that it's that often, is it? I think there was one of these 12 that we've done tonight where there was information out there.
The thing is that you
Why
want
the secrecy? I don't get it. So I feel like, I feel it's not going to get us anywhere, but I still feel that we ought to register our, anyway, I feel we should register and complaint if you like.
What do this?
I I mean, to me, I find it strange because there's going to be no sort of commercial confidentiality issues in things that are discussed. It's just what was just giving their opinion. And I don't understand Kirklees' position on it. And as we said, it's not as if it's on every application, it's probably 1 in 100.
I agree, I think we should register a complaint, it's just, what's the point of doing all this if they're not even going to pay the slightest bit of attention, which half of the time they don't. If it goes in the view that they want it to go in, they say, parish council didn't agree, and if it doesn't, then they just ignore what we say anyway, so, you know, it sort of makes it a bit of a fallacy. I believe we should complain, and to be fair, knowing the history of the man, I don't think we'd be the first.
So what do other people feel? Do you feel we should write and complain about the what the content of that message?
It seems reasonable, wouldn't it? It seems reasonable to ask that from there if we actually be consulted as a statutory body for that.
Yeah, and it's interesting if other local authorities make an effort to make this advice public, and that's probably well worth putting that in there.
I think when you look at the actual letter, the first sort of 3 paragraphs are not really telling you anything we didn't know. And then it just sums it up at the end, and by the way, we're not going to tell you.
I mean,
And after 6 months away, I feel a bit aggrieved at that.
it's not going to take up on any amount of officer time.
We're doing it anyway.
Yeah, it's just downloading a piece of paper,
And sending it.
sending it electronically. I find it.
We clearly have got a backlog.
So I think we've agreed a course of action then, which is to write and complain about it, and to cite the fact that other local authorities are making this formally.
Kensington and Chelsea.
Yeah, Kensington and Chelsea. Thank you.
Very nice.
Are people okay?
Would anybody like to get together to write it, or do you want me to write it?
I'll write it with you. You don't sound very. That
I feel like I don't understand it enough to do it in a.
that bodily expression was a little bit disappointing, then, don't it?
No, what I feel is that I
I'll
don't.
write it.
Well, do you want to do it between the two of you?
Yeah. Okay.
I do feel like my knowledge is not developed enough to do anything wrong, but is what that body language was.
That's
not.
perfectly fine. It's reasonable now it's come
I
to
was like, no, I don't know what to do.
No, that's absolutely. Yeah.
Gemma says.
Joe put something in, Mary made it polite.
Right, let's move on to his second communication, which was about conservation heritage. Now, the background to this, it goes back rather a long way. It was one of our residents raised the issue about the state of Lord. Is it Lord's Mill? Not Lord's Mill. Is it Lord's Mill? Can you remember that?
One in one
No one in.
Oh yes,
Yeah.
Lord's
Yeah.
Mill, yeah.
And we had some correspondence then with heritage, conservation and heritage, and you know, and it seemed. So we were offering to be the kind of eyes and ears of the conservation and heritage, because we know they've got very few staff, and thinking we could actually keep an eye on those listed buildings, you know, within our
Which mill's this in on?
It's between Netherton and Honley, sort of down Cooking Steps.
Oh, I know what you
It's
mean.
right on the edge.
And basically they've fenced it off to fall down safely.
Yeah, well, that's how it. So we thought we could offer, in our instance, we thought we could offer something to Kirklees, and which is what we wanted to talk about really. And we're being offered a single meeting. I noticed. I think we should take up the offer of a
Yeah.
single meeting. Are people happy with that?
Yeah. Invite them to a future
Yeah.
planning meeting.
Yes, I noted that it's assumed it's not with the whole council, with the whole of this committee, limited numbers.
Limited numbers, yeah.
It's the planning committee.
It's
We've
quarter,
obviously got a
We are,
reputation,
yeah, we are limited.
like England football fans.
it's quarter of an hour in 2028.
Best live up to that then, Pat, eh? Make sure you dye your hair red for that bit.
That's right, with a cross.
So we'll take up the offer, yeah?
Yeah.
And we'll try and make it clear that, you know, we are wanting,
We want to help.
we're wanting to help, you know.
Should we give him plenty of examples of where he's failed? Can we do that? Out of curiosity, because obviously you don't want to go in saying we're going to help you and he's saying I'm doing a perfectly fine job.
Anyway, let's move, so fine, is people happy with that? Let's move on. In that case,
Meeting in September.
sorry.
September?
Yes, that's when we're being offered a meeting in September.
We do have a planning meeting in September, I don't know. what-
Listen, we're being offered
I
a
think we
meeting.
have, I always think a separate,
you.
Do you think
a
it's
separate,
okay,
a separate meeting, yeah.
At their
Yeah.
convenience.
Get as many of us there as possible.
I'm not back up all this now.
After that.
Yeah.
The line, right.
And I go away on the 8th.
Is that a joke?
When you're back.
When are you back?
23rd.
Offer him the end of September.
Oh, it's
that
going to
would
be
funny.
October at this rate, isn't it? But anyway, never
Doesn't
mind.
matter really.
Keep it going. Be useful if you guys
After
are.
the 23rd.
I mean, use as many of us as possible there. Okay, so, is that all right? Yeah. Yeah, okay, fine. So, planning roads to farm buildings, I asked to have this put on the agenda because I just really for background information, but I found it quite kind of really interesting. I mean, it's a common situation here, isn't it, that we get applications where farmers are wanting to diversify really and do different things. And so it's, it seemed like a fairly huge extension of permitted development rights, really.
Massive.
Yeah, and which we might have a view on, particularly we could discuss it, but it was just really to put everybody in the picture. So going up, big changes really. I think going up from 5 dwellings to 10 dwellings, which is huge. You know, it's a big change. So it's just something we all need to.
But it must be agriculture, not equestrian. So there, and it must have been the building, if it goes up, if it's been up now, if it's already up now, then it qualifies. If it goes up after, it's 10 years. You've got 10 years of it being a farm building before you can apply to change it.
Alright.
And it will exclude green belt, of course.
No,
But it also
It
requires.
doesn't mention the green belt.
no, it's not. It's still under your greenbelt special condition, but it's
Yeah.
it's a non-thing. It's just a non. It's just one of them things under Part B.
See?
It's also applying not just to buildings but to land,
To land, yeah.
and that opens a lot of barn doors, so to
Not at
speak.
my house. Don't like being dead.
Because, I mean, it's land for sporting events, I mean, covers a multitude of sins. And unless, you know, yeah, it'd be nice to see the small print on it.
Yeah, it'd be good to know where
Do you want me to get you? Do you want me to get you a copy?
it's coming to force already, hasn't it?
Yeah.
So, yeah, we can
I mean, I'll look at the document and try and
Yeah.
plan through it and see what the loopholes are.
I've already got the document at home.
You've got it?
Well, yes, because it's just a private. No.
Have you got,
Have you got it
electronic copy,
electronically?
save us searching for it?
I will
Yeah.
email you all a
Thank you.
copy of the new legislation.
So building 6 houses next week, yeah?
Right, shed's going up
Shed's
today.
going up.
Bought one on Wednesday. I did so. But I've replanted the trees. I showed Jenny on Saturday.
Okay, moving on, I think that this, the next heading reading, neighbourhood planning, design and design coding guidance. Again, this was just for information, and I'm not sure how useful it is. It's very top level stuff, and when I looked at the examples, I thought, I think we've done more than this really.
I mean, again, this is where this council has done work, which in a
Yes.
sense, we should be doing. And the
Yes.
government saying, the planning authorities, use local resource.
I'll remember that for
That's
the
what
meeting in
we've got.
September.
That's what we've got here. Okay.
Yeah,
Let's move on to item 56, which is Steve's report, and did email the text,
Yeah.
but quite late.
I'm
So
sorry
people
about
may
that, I
not-
completely forgot about it, and I was away last week, and I got back late last night, and read the agenda this morning, and
And thought,
gave a slight explanation to myself.
Would you like me to put it in again for next time,
Yeah.
once everybody's had a chance to digest it?
The chair of the conservation group has decided that in view of the lack of help we're getting from volunteers, we're going to go commercial and talk to a company about doing the artwork. And that's with him at the moment.
Do we have budget for this now?
No, this is coming out of our budget.
That's okay.
Yes, we're using funds that English Heritage gave us for something else.
You got any spare?
Not for Ramsey Road.
No, they know about it.
Did you send the text to me?
Oh, have I not? Oh, I will send you one.
Don't remember seeing
Yes.
it.
Yeah, that's easy. Yeah.
Thank you. Do you want me to include it in the papers or not?
No, I'll write it here. I'll do it tomorrow.
Thank you. I can put it in the papers for next time, but
Yeah.
if you don't want it publishing yet, then I can certainly.
No, we don't want it publishing yet.
In that case, I will circulate separately.
Thank you, Steve. Yeah, okay, yeah.
This start reading.
As you say, you know, this is.
And when we get this out of the way, we will start work on management plan for conservation.
Excellent. Thank you. Right, the next item 57, I have to apologise because we resolved at the annual council meeting to better engage with Kirklees officers and stakeholders over the Homeford blueprint, and then the last planning meeting I resolved that I would contact Councillor Moses Crook regarding the best way forward, and I have to admit I haven't done that. So I did just send an email today. I finally got round to doing it today, so I will have met before so that is an item which I'm afraid needs to be deferred to the next meeting. Thank you. So apologies for that. Moving on to item 58, committee budget. At the last meeting, we were asked to look at the local development plan and whether there might be any item. Again, I think this probably needs to go again on. It's been a lot happening. On the specific request really needs to go on as an item of the next agenda.
I forgot.
Yeah.
I must say.
And I was going to say that in November 2022, I did took me ages, went through the neighbourhood development plan and noted progress on the various actions. People have forgotten, of which there were 51 actions which were set against the it's in appendix 1 of the neighbourhood development plan. You all have access to that. But I went through each one and noted progress. But that was November 22, so there's been a bit more progress since then. So I'll have a look and note any additional progress it was one of these things when you think you haven't done anything, and then when you actually look and see what you've done, you have actually done quite a lot. And since then, because we're talking about 18 months ago, we've done quite a lot more. So if you have time to have a look at the actions, and if you think there's progress to be noted, let me know, and then I'll incorporate it. So and then once we've done that, then I think we perhaps might wish to identify some actions that have not been done, which we've got some budget. Are people happy with? I think people happy with that as the way forward.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thanks very much. This is not the last item for a change.
Snuck one in on the
Right, do you need to speak to this, Gemma?
just the publicising work, if anybody can get me a photo of the sinks or the balance.
What, next to each other?
Like from a distance.
Ideally L1, in situ. I've still yet to see it. How do you know which one's which?
I took some pictures of it, I'll send them to you.
Thank you. I will put something out.
Do you want anyone else?
Yes, if you wanted to go out after the election. No.
Right, I'm just asking, not showing any preference either way. Whose ward is that one in?
What, where this is at the moment? It's Folkestone.
So it's, Sales.
Is it Wardale?
Is it Folk-
I think it's
I don't know.
Wardale,
I think it's Wardale.
Because I live in Folkestone more than just around the corner from it, so it might just be near the boundary of it.
Is that you then?
It's a very big ward, Wardale.
I don't want a picture taken of it now. Go, pass on my motorbike and see what number I can get to, like.
Hey, I wonder if you can get to 99.
No.
Oh.
Here's a photo of Councillor Brooke.
Is that a challenge or is it related to machine abilities?
No,
Testing
the
the
sheet
sick.
cuts out after that.
I think the
Depending on
only
the speed that the.
That's lovely. Can you tell
what
where
speed
it is
it
within the
is.
street?
Ah.
They
Uh,
deliberately
I
cut
can
out
Can you see that one?
because
It's got that one,
they're
so.
very
I
silly.
think what
Yeah.
would
Usually
work
young
well
men who
would be
try to get
a wide
into
shot where you
Beat
can
the
kind of
star.
see it as
Yes,
part of
so
the
they
street
sort of
rather
go
than
X
just the
percent
vertical.
travel at 45.
See what I mean?
Right. It just replied on my email, and I'll show you some better ones.
I'll see if they have a look. See if they work.
Nearly there now, come on.
Oh, yeah. Really finished. Okay, so last item, which is the Northern Wildlife and Countryside Act, which is about the width of the path. When this came up before us, we, in July 2021, we just noted the contents and didn't take any further action, so we're just being asked to note this again.
Okay, no.
Agree with that?
Yeah.
No, thank
No,
you.
Yeah, what I was gonna say on that as well is
Oh,
that
yeah.
we were sent a hard copy in the post, we weren't emailed it. So the copy that you had in your packs was a little bit sketchy on a couple of pages. I have got the original. If anybody's desperate, see the back 2 pages. I need that back because it's our original piece, but the last page is just addresses, so you're not missing much, which is the one you can't see in your packs.
I mean, there was a history to this request, but we won't go into it, we just noted it, that's all we need to do at this point. Right, thank you all very much, that's.
Thank you.
We go now.
Well done, thank you.
Me
No,
too.
no, borrowing a black pen, please.
Indeed.
8:14, well done.
Right, there you go.
Thank you.
Thanks for that. Donald, how did you get it? Did you let it go? You drove?
I've made a note to investigate it for next week.
This?
It'd be a good idea.
So it's a certificate
Yeah,
of
no.
occupancy change for community development, so that you can apply for it, Gary. So this is.